Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Iberia. Forget about Spain, Carlist Spain, or whatever. We are now the nation of Iberia. In the last episode, we waged war on the United Kingdom, and we took, apart from southwest England, that is a way for us to control the United Kingdom in future wars against them, we took Gibraltar, and by taking Gibraltar, we had the possibility of forming Iberia. So basically, peacefully annexing Portugal and all its colonies. So we are now the biggest empire in the world. I think, yeah, I think we can say that we absolutely are the biggest empire in the world. We also have in our sphere this nation here. It was before both a puppet of the United Kingdom, and it was also in the sphere of influence of the United Kingdom. Now it's not anymore. It's also a way for us to have a newly born Indian nation here. And if this happens, well, the UK is gonna lose even more territories here. Apart from this, we are still an absolute monarchy, so we still have Don Carlos de Borbon as emperor more than king now, emperor of Iberia. The only problem is that as soon as we switched from Spain to Iberia, for some mysterious reason, the party changed. The party that is governing the country changed from Unión Liberal, that was the party that we had before, to this one, Partido Moderado. Now, they are quite similar. The biggest difference is this one, is the economic policy. This economic policy is interventionism, which means that in general this is a free market economy, but the government reserves the right to intervene when the national interest requires it. Which means we cannot build factories, we cannot choose which factories are going to be built in our regions, but we can support a factory. So if they are not earning enough, we can give some money, and we can also close factories, shut down factories, and we can reopen factories. Now, and we can also expand factories. So the only thing that we cannot do is really deciding which factories we want to have. Now, this is something that I don't really like, because I prefer to have full control over the production of the nation, especially if we are an absolute monarchy. And on top of that, this party here has religious policy moralism and citizenship policy residency. So the Unión Liberal was a bit more liberal, and it was less focused on having just one religion in the whole country, and also the citizenship was more open. So I prefer to keep Unión Liberal instead of the party that we have, so to switch back to Unión Liberal. Other parties, like fully liberal parties, absolutely not, because they don't give me the chance of even supporting the factories, so no. There is this new party that is called Nacionalista Vasco, which is kind of it's a good party, I would say, because it's jingoism. So it means it's very oriented towards war, and it's state capitalism, which means we can build factories. But at the same time, is moralist, which means the church and state are a single body, and religious minorities face discrimination, which is something that I would like to avoid in our nation, and only people of your nation's primary culture are allowed to vote. So, I would say that before even starting this episode, we switched back to the party that we had before, that was governing before, which is Unión Liberal. I don't even know why it changed. Maybe because we inherited the parties that were in Portugal, and for some reason that one was more popular. I have no idea. But I'm gonna switch back to Unión Liberal. This will increase the militancy in our country for a while, which is something that I don't like, but I really want to have this party here. So, okay, Unión Liberal is now the party. and you can see the militancy is increased. We have some movements now. The strongest one is this, the Thai patriots that would like to have independence, and I think that very soon, as soon as we click play, we will have the British that wants to have independence too. So this was a problem, if you remember, in Italy. When we took Romagna, it was impossible to keep it for more than a few days, because the Italians really wanted to have independence, or at least being part of something called Italy, not Spain. So it will probably happen the same here. So let's start this episode with the minimum speed possible, also because we have things to do. So we have now more regions where we can build factories, and so this is gonna take a bit of time. So let's have a look. What are we importing right now? We are importing some sugar, so we can have a sugar refinery in Alentejo. Also because we don't have workers actually here, so it's gonna be kind of useless. But let's have a look. Where do we have... Okay, let's pause a moment. We have to choose a new technology. I think we can keep going with these technologies here. Experimental psychology is gonna give a boost to our soldiers. The morale will increase. And also the militancy in non-colonial states will decrease. So this is something that right now is interesting for us. We could also, to decrease the militancy a bit, we could also do a whistle stop tour that we avoided in the previous episodes because twice somebody tried to kill our king. But you know what? Let's have a tour in our newly born empire of Iberia. Okay. So going back to our factories, let's click on play. We have this, I would say, useless factory right here. I prefer maybe gunpowder. Gunpowder is more important, is it? Let's have a look. It's not in high demand. And we are already one of the top 5 producer of this. How is the situation with airplanes? Yeah, airplanes are really in high demand. They are incredibly expensive. They can be useful for wars. And yeah, and we are the only producer along with Germany. So I would say that we build an airplane factory here. This is gonna require also some electric components. Do we have enough electric components in the world? Let's have a look. It's in high demand. We absolutely don't have enough electric gear. So let's also focus on these. So electric gear factory. And I would say we do the same here. Airplane and electric gear. I don't care about the chair factory, to be honest. We can keep the boot factory, maybe. Is it in a high demand? It's not. But yeah, let's keep this. Let's keep this factory. Then, something else that we have to fix. The oil factory is okay. Let's say that we also want some printing. I don't know if it's very useful, but let's have it. And for the salmons, let's see. How is the production going in the world? I'm sorry that I'm spending all this time for the factories, but... Okay, demand is low. But we have to do it. Okay, so right here, we are trying to produce telephones, but we don't have also enough copper. How much copper do we produce? 241. It's not that bad. Maybe we can go with cheap iron as next technology, so that we will increase the production of copper. Then, what else? Do we have... Okay, like this factory here is kind of useless. We don't need to support it. If it fails, we don't care. Explosive factory, same thing. We also don't produce enough rubber, apparently. But we will fix that. We are missing many things here. So we need more machine parts, and we are increasing the factories of machine parts. And steel. In Castilla Nueva we should have a steel factory. Yes, indeed. Let's expand it. And what else? Something else that is missing. Oh, we're missing tropical wood, apparently. That's unexpected. Okay, I think we are fine with this. Shall we host a colonial exposition? A delegation representing the leading commercial and manufacturing interests in our empire have proposed holding a colonial exposition in our capital. Holding such an event would provide an excellent opportunity to showcase the economic and cultural wealth of our colonies, could significantly help our exports by popularizing the goods produced in our empire, and further strengthen the support for our empire among our citizens at home. Should we provide support for this idea? Absolutely, yes, an excellent idea, and we accept it. Then another thing that we have to do is expanding naval base, railroads, and fortifications in all the Portugal regions, former Portugal regions. So let's do this here, but also... Oh, kill these rebels, please. We have to do the same here in this area of Africa. So we expand these, we expand everything. Also because we have money to spend, and it's always a good thing if you have money. This is also true in real life. Try to increase what you have by spending those money, basically investing them in things that you think are important. Idle money are never a good idea for a state. Also for individuals sometimes, but you must be careful. So can we expand the naval base? Yeah, we can. Okay, very good. Very good. So now one thing that we could do, considering the current situation, well, first of all, let's spread these troops to all these places here. I would say, yeah, you go here. Are you the best? Not really, no. So instead, I will send you. Because again, we could have some rebellion over there. Yeah, you see, British Patriots, they are 263,000. And they are quite angry right now. Andalusia assimilation. Andalusia is considered Iberian territory. Of course, we control it. Yeah. This is only in dispute by those neighbors. We don't have neighbors anymore. Who still have recognized claims on the area. Oh, so maybe Gibraltar is the British claim. The first step in rendering their claim invalid would be to enact a policy that encourages the assimilation of all people within Andalusia. Because what's the population in Gibraltar? Well, there is some Irish, but it's mainly Spanish. They should be Iberian citizens and hold no other nationality above ours. Being assimilated in Andalusia, we gain infamy and... what else? Well, I don't really understand these events, to be honest. There are too many things and I This will only cause more conflict. So, the population that is not accepted culture where? In Andalusia or everywhere in Iberia? Oh my god, it's written so bad. For any province that is all of the below is an Iberian core. Any core exists, is not Iberia, is not cultural, blah 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 blah. Well, let's go with the assimilation. No, let's go with the reduction of militancy, whatever it is. Don't want to force anybody. Also because our infamy is already high, and the militancy too, so it's probably not a good idea. So now, we have also some colonies here. We have Macau. It was before Portugal. There should be also like... This one, yeah, was Portugal before. This was Portugal. And so we can expand this. And what else? Some island here. This was Portugal too. And I think that's it. We took care of all the former Portugal colonies. That's very good. Now, what we have to do is building a proper army. Oh, Curse of the Pharaohs. All population in Iberia is gaining 1 militancy. That's terrible. How it started, we do not know. But what we do know is that what was once a rumor has now become public wisdom. The rumor that has grown from breeds to storm is that a curse befalls anyone who disturbs the tombs of the pharaohs in the Valley of the Kings, and we did it and we got a lot of prestige. And some even claim that our excavation team threatens to draw down the curse on all of Iberia. Sorry, I'm reading very badly. It's too early in the morning right now. It is a hysterical rumor, of course, but the hysteria is there nevertheless. So we are gaining militancy for superstitions, basically. This is quite bad, because we have to take care of all these rebels. I mean, right now, if the British decide... Oh, let's suppress the British Liberation Movement. Yeah. Let's do it. Because if they rebel right now, there are so many. So we discovered rationalism, giving more plurality, and Alfred Binet is a scientist. And then we have improved rifles. This is very good. Intensive farming. Not interested in intensive farming, to be honest. I just want to decrease the militancy right now. And maybe we can even decrease taxes. Yeah, maybe let's keep this at 30. And let's decrease the taxes for the poor people to 45. How is it? Still positive? So. But we can work on it. We can fix the economy without increasing the taxes, I suppose. You know what? Maybe 50% for you. And it's already much better. We have a positive income now. So we are allied with many countries. We are allied with almost everyone. The only thing, I don't want to be the second greatest power in the world. I would like to be the first, which means that it would be nice to have a war against the North German Federation. And if we want to do that, having an alliance with France and Austria-Hungary is more important than having an alliance with them. But they have the best military. They really have the best military. And they are not even Germany yet. So when they become Germany, they will probably be unstoppable. Also because I cannot have an alliance with Soviets. Because they are just allied with Italy because they are both communists. But yeah, they cannot have an alliance with me. Then, let's reform our troops here, because we have to keep all these soldiers here in England to avoid a rebellion, or anyway, to suppress it if there is a rebellion. Again, yeah, this is terrible, it's really terrible. The revolt risk is super high. Maybe we could become a democracy. Constitutional monarchy, let's say. So first of all, what do we need to increase this army? So for here we need some infantry. You go here, thank you. Here we are missing one brigade of artillery and also a brigade of artillery over there. So I would say we do artillery here in Europe. Portuguese artillery. Then maybe some engineer can also be good. Yes. Tanks are... we cannot build tanks yet, and not even airplane. What's the advantage of having tanks? They have 5 points of defense. That is higher. It's a bit higher than infantry. 5 points of attack, that is much higher than infantry. Siege capabilities that is also much higher. Maneuver, that is the same. Discipline, that is quite low. And maximum speed is 4. Maximum speed is 5. They are even slower than the regulars. So it's just to understand if they're gonna take the place of artillery or infantry, or maybe they just maybe take the place of cavalry. Yeah, this seems to be, but not even, because airplane have a higher maneuver. The cavalry has 10 of maneuver, the tanks have just 3. So they are not good. I don't understand. They don't look very powerful, the tanks in this game. Meanwhile, we are increasing the capitalists in our nation, which is a good thing, but maybe we have enough in this region. The number should be 4%. Oh no, we can still push for capitalists. The literacy, meanwhile, is 55%. It's not too bad. More than half of the population is literate. So let's keep using what we have right now. I mean, we don't have tanks and airplanes, so let's keep going with what we have. So Asia, we can build artillery, and then a bunch of infantry. Jacobin rebels. Where? Oh, here, in Cyprus. You know, you can deal with it. Then you're missing still artillery. Okay, it will come very soon, don't worry. So we have some people that are unemployed. Maybe because we are still building the factories. Yes, indeed. It will be fixed in a moment. Let's increase now the speed of the game. And let's improve the relations with Colombia. Because we are trying to sphere Colombia. It was in our sphere of influence, but then the US decided to intervene and take it from us. We could also make Egypt one of our puppets. Or we cannot. I don't see make puppet casus belli here. No, because it's too big and it's civilized. But we can add to sphere by the use of force, which is not a bad idea. Because it's hostile with everyone, so it will take a long time to sphere Egypt manually, let's say. If we do it with our troops, it will be much faster. Marathi rebellion in Iberian Bombay. Oh la la, so the Indians there will be now an Indian call. It means that some Indian nationalists are appearing in India. Okay, some money from Panama and Suez. So probably now, yes, you see this flag here? It means that if there is a rebellion over here, also in the British territories, there is a possibility that a new state appears that is India. That's good. Okay, so we organized a bit our new empire of Iberia. We still have to increase our fleet because we absolutely need to destroy the old transports, like all the clipper transports that we have. They are 18. We can destroy them. We can destroy the other small ships, and we have to build new ships to have a fleet in Southeast Asia, a fleet in the America, and a fleet in Europe. The biggest one must be in Europe. Then we also have to train more troops so that we will have an army in Spain, since we are keeping all the soldiers that were previously in Spain are all here to prevent any rebellion of the British. And what else? Yeah, these are the main things that we have to do. But we will see all of this in the next episode, and who knows, maybe a big war.